Hi everyone. Wanted to just share something. I was thinking about this book that I read many years ago called Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl. Viktor Frankl, if I remember correctly, was a psychologist, but he was someone that was captured as a little boy. I think he was a little boy, I can't remember, but I know his family was captured in Nazi Germany. And forgive me if I'm messing this up, but the gist of it is that basically he was captured and his whole family was killed, and he somehow survived. And then, of course, being the researcher that he is and was, I think he's still alive, I can't remember. He ended up doing a lot of research on it, and ended up writing this book called Man's Search for Meaning, which is one of his most famous books, and he's written a couple others. And it's a little book, but it's such a powerful, powerful read. I would really strongly encourage you to read it. And in that book, he basically came up with his mode of therapy, which he calls logotherapy. And the gist of it is that a person, he who has a why to live for can bear almost any how. Okay, so let me repeat that. He who has a why to live for can bear almost any how. So what does that mean? So what that means is that, when someone has a why, a purpose, when they are living a life of purpose, they can bear any how. That anything that life throws them, they're okay with. They sort of have the endurance. They have this, inner sort of, to to survive, and not just survive, but just really to thrive. And so I was at dinner yesterday with some friends, and one of them mentioned this book that was written about why President Trump won. You're right, and Ohio was the swing state that apparently made President Trump win. And so I can't remember the name of the book. I'll have to find it. And I haven't read it, but the summary of the book was that, it was written by a scholar who happened to be literally one of the only ones that got out of Ohio, apparently. So Ohio is this huge problem of overdose, as a huge problem of just generations of just people being addicted to opiates and dying. And so the author goes, let's understand why Ohio, the people in Ohio were finally, after, what is it, 40 years of just this sort of, perpetual state of, depression and loss and hopelessness, and the government not doing anything for them. They didn't have a sense of purpose. They had no hope. And he said he was the one that made it out, and he said, why did I make it out? And his conclusion was that it was his grandmother who basically was the motivator. She's the one who kicked his ass. She's the one that, although the circumstances were the same for their family versus all the other families, she expected more. She demanded more. And because she demanded more, he rose to the occasion, and that was the difference between him and his friends who didn't make it out. And so, it brings me back to the point of the, man's search for meaning is, whenever I'm working with people, whether it's young ones or whether it's my clients, adults, it all comes back to, what is your purpose in life? How do you figure that out, right? Well, what are your gifts? What are your gifts? What are you good at? What is it that is your strength? And then start figuring that, and start finding ways that you can use it to serve others. God doesn't make mistakes. He doesn't, right? So out of all the millions of sperms that were going up, your mother's womb, you know, your sperm, your little thing connected to the egg, and you came into being. I mean, that itself in itself is a miracle, isn't it? I mean, think about it. God, there's no mistake. You were supposed to be here. And there are times when we question that. There are times that, our loved ones, are sometimes the ones that hurt us the most, right? And we really just have to tune that out, and get within and get centered and know that, I'm not a mistake. I'm not a mistake. I mean, and you're here for a reason, and there's a reason you are here and you're supposed to be here. So you might as well just get about the business of figuring out, what is your life's purpose, what are your strengths, and just live it. It's just, you've been given the gift of this beautiful body, given this gift of this beautiful experience of life. So live it. Anyways, that's it. Thank you so much for joining. I hope you enjoyed it, and have an amazing evening, and God bless. Take care.